Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. Quick reminder, if you've never subscribed, just to remind you to click that red button there that says subscribe, and after that click the bell sign. That way you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video, I actually plan not to make it a rant. I don't know, I'm going to do my best not to make it a rant, but I doubt it. I don't think I'll be able to make this video without kind of ranting, because I'm just a bit annoyed about, what I want to talk about. What's annoying is that some people treat this Rona thing as if it's a joke. It's not a joke, okay? It's not a joke. For you to understand how serious this Rona thing is, a lot of you know what I mean by Rona. This Rona thing is that, think about, a lot of us can think about how old we are, right? The other day I was trying to explain to my children how serious the Rona thing is, and I said to them, I'm 42 and I'm almost 43, right? Since I was born, I've never heard of something like this, where so many countries, something as big as this, where lives are at risk, and the way it has spread internationally, it's not like it's not like happening in Africa or happening in Asia. It's gone around the world, okay? How many of you can think of a time when the whole world basically was at a lockdown or shut down, so to show you that this is serious. But some people treat it like a joke, okay? Something else I want to say, some people are like, oh, you nurses are our heroes, you nurses and doctors are our heroes. Let me tell you, no nurse, no doctor, no healthcare worker is planning to be your hero, as in die for this whole thing. Nobody wants to die for this whole thing. That's the fact, okay? Healthcare workers, we take the risk to go to work considering what's going on. It doesn't mean we're planning to die for this. Let's be honest with you. I'll speak for myself, right? I have children that I do not want to leave my children behind in the name of being a hero. People are being heroes of taking the risk to even go to work. But nobody wants to be a hero for your stupidity. Nobody wants to be a hero for your this nonchalant attitude. Nobody wants to be a hero and waste their lives for people that will not take this thing seriously when they have children to raise. Nobody wants to leave their children behind, because they want to be your hero when you will not take the right precautions. What am I talking about? I saw this thing on the Punch News, Oyedepo's church is open, and what's the other one's name? Paul Eneche, his church was open as well, even though they have said no big gatherings. They have said churches should not open, people should avoid big gatherings, right? And you know what, are you like, especially Paul Eneche that claims to be a doctor, you would think he knows better. I'm trying not to, rant. I know I will end up ranting. You would think he would know better, but somebody like him, who has left the profession and says he wants to be a pastor, at least you would think that he still holds on to the knowledge that he has when he was a doctor, to know that, this is something that should be taken seriously. This is something that should be taken seriously, and he is holding the Sunday service. Is this tithe and offering so important that they cannot wait and think about human life? Is tithe and offering so important that human life mean nothing to these people? Is it so important? Paul Eneche's church, for those of you that do not know, for as far as we know, he's one of the biggest churches in the whole world with the 100,000 seating capacity. 100,000 seating capacity, and he's going to bring 100,000 people into a gathering when there is a rule at the moment to prevent the spread of this problem. They say no big gatherings, and he is going to go open. Is it not the same building that is 100,000 seating capacity? He's going to go open a place like that and try to bring 100,000 people into the same space, in the same space, with this whole thing going on. With this, when people talk, I don't believe in insulting anybody. It's not, I was never brought up that way. I was never brought up that way. I've made videos that talk about my father. My father was an authoritarian, blah, blah. But one thing I can tell you, I never heard my father curse at anyone or use some of the vulgar languages people use. And my mother, the same thing. I never heard them curse or stuff like that. I don't believe in cursing or insulting people. Whatever you want to say, come out and say it. You don't need insult to pass your messages across. But at the same time, I really wanted to emphasize on this. I have that discipline. My father has that discipline. Not everybody does, okay? Not everybody does. But let me say what I want to say. No, let me say this, because when things happen and some people come out, recently I wanted to make a video about it, never got the chance, something happened, a so-called big mega GO in Nigeria, you know, he made a post or whatever he did, and about the Rona issue, and people came for him because he made comments that people were not happy about, and people came for him. Some people were insulting and cursing or whatever. You know, and you know, when something like, I don't support, I'm going to say that I don't support cursing, or people should be able to disagree. But what I want to address is when people come out and say, somebody is a GO, somebody is an elder, you have to respect elder, you have to respect men of God, and all of those things. Is it even about people respecting them, or is it about them respecting themselves? What about they respect themselves? Okay, now, are they even bigger than the laws in the land? Are they bigger than the laws in the land? They did not say close churches permanently. While this thing is going on, international, you know, a pandemic, international pandemic, and they said, let's close big God gatherings. And how can people claim to be children of God? How can people claim to read the same Bible that explains to us that you should give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar? Does the Bible not tell us to obey the laws of the land? It's not like this law is a law that is against the things of God. This is for people's health and safety. And you are going to put people's lives at risk. You're going to put people's lives at risk. Let me tell you, some people that may not understand how serious this thing is. So some of you that idolize all these GOs, let me tell you, their branches in the UK and the US are not open. Branches in civilized countries are not open. The government said don't open, they didn't open. And then they are so-called top GOs and doing or disobeying the law in Nigeria. What example are they setting for their church members? What example? They are doing it in Nigeria. These so-called GOs, will they have the guts? Would they dare do that in the UK or US? Will they do it? No. They're in Nigeria where they are mini gods. Where they are mini gods. I saw a video that is going viral of a mini GO. I call it a mini GO because it's a small church. And they opened, and the police went to arrest the pastor of the church because he opened. They're not supposed to open. Let me tell you, arresting mini GOs will not solve this. Go and arrest those mega ones, and then the small ones will watch and they would learn. They would learn. Nobody should be above the law in Nigeria. It's not about, some people will be like, anybody is free to do what. No, you're not free. Nobody is free at the moment. Nobody is free at the moment to do whatever they want because other people's lives are at risk. My mother rang me 6 in the morning because she's worried. Make sure you bath with salt and water. She is worried for her child because I work in the hospital. So it's no longer your business what you do. At the moment, it's not your business. When your business affects other people's, there's no longer your business. Because this is a problem that is spreading from person to person. Nurses and doctors and healthcare workers are going to work to go look after sick people, to go provide this care people need. They do not need you to help spread it more and get them more patients. No nurse or doctor is planning for you to create more cases so that there will be more corona. They are praying for it to be over so that life can go back to normal. Every nurse, every doctor, every healthcare worker goes to work every day praying not to contact this thing. Praying for the end of this thing. And then some people that are supposed to be aware of the dangers ahead are the ones even going to expose with their big auditoriums, going to gather people together. Going to gather people together. If these people cannot even reason, what about their people that are there working with them, that are at least civilized? What about the people that are working with them that can call them and be like, oh God, this is not allowed though. What kind of, this is what happens in a country where GOs are mini gods. They can do whatever they like. They've been collecting tithes for centuries, collecting tithes for years, just for the next few, just relax, leave this alone. They cannot because they are losing money. A lot of people are losing money around the world. People are losing their lives. People are losing their lives. You can do live service on Facebook and they can do that, but they will not do it because, you know, they will not collect at an offering if they do it online. There is this other pastor, I think he's American, you know what he's telling, to show you guys the problem with this tithe, obsession with tithes and offering. There is this man, I've watched some videos about this man in the past, you know, and whenever I look at him, I'm sorry, I'm not coming to say that I'm perfect. If I confess my own sins, I'm telling you guys, nobody, and I say it all the time, Christianity is not the absence of sin, it is the presence of repentance. You know, when you say, are you perfect? That's not what it's about. It doesn't mean we should not speak the truth. It doesn't mean that. When I look at that man, I don't know, there's something about this man. I have seen him, a lot of videos about him and his obsession with money. This man, you can see his eyes when he was telling people that you should make sure they pay their tithes and offering from home, no matter if there's Rona or not. You can see how, upon all the issues in the world, how much this man prioritized this.
Fear of this coronavirus is faith in its ability to hurt you or kill you. The fear of, what are we going to do? I'm getting laid off at work. Hey, your job's not your source. If it is, you're in trouble. Jesus is your source. Whatever you do right now, don't you stop tithing. Don't you stop sowing offerings. Well, they won't let us go to church. Well, email it in there, text give or something, but you get your tithe in that church. If you have to go take it down there and drop it off and stick it under the door or something, you get that tithe in that church, you get that offering in that church, and then you go home and you do what we're supposed to do.
This is why the Bible tells us that the love of money is the beginning of all kinds of evil. The love of money, not money, but the love of it. I've said it before, a lot of these GOs, they started right. But the love of money has taken them the direction God never wanted them to go. When some people start to insult them now, some people will come and be crying for them. Why are you insulting them? They are elders, they are elders, they are GOs, they are men of God. Why can't they respect themselves? Why can't those people now come out and tell these same people, tell them to respect themselves? The members, it's the members that have to realize, if those pastors fall sick, they can afford the top class healthcare in the world. In the top class healthcare in the country. It's you people that will still be the ones that will be looking for prayer. And what would they give you? Anointing oil. They will give you anointing oil. These pastors, DGOs, a lot of them that have schools and hospitals that the poor cannot afford. And they drag you all out because they want your money. This is to show you how, little regard they have for their fellow human beings. And how much little regard they have for human life, human health. Like I said, their branches, they will not dare go open their branches in the UK or the US. They will not try it. Why are they doing it in Nigeria? I don't want this video to be too long because I really don't want I really didn't plan for this video to be too long. But I want you to come here and say it. When nurses and doctors and all these people work in hospitals, with this whole thing going on, nobody is planning to go and die for somebody else. Let me tell you the truth. Nobody. People are not planning to die in it. They want to see an end to this. And then you see people doing all these things. I knew that there's no way I could make this video without ranting. But I think people should start speaking because, these are the kind of things that makes my blood boil. It's just wrong. It's wrong no matter who is doing it. More people should come up and be speaking up about things like this. This is completely wrong. It's completely wrong. They are not bigger than the laws of the land. We know there is God. We know there is, but it doesn't mean that we do not know that there's a health problem in the whole world. There's a health problem in the whole world. And they say, let's prevent it from spreading more. So people may be like, hey, God will protect us because we are Christians. There are some Christians that have lost their lives. There are some pastors that have lost their lives. Find out about that. Do your research. Some pastors have lost their lives. Some Christians have lost their lives. So don't think it's something that is only happening to unbelievers. God gave us a brain for a reason. This is unacceptable. It doesn't matter who is doing it, whether they are mega GO, whatever they call themselves. This is wrong. And people should be able to come up and speak up about something like this. When people speak now, they say you have no respect for elders. When the elders will not respect themselves. Take note in my video. I didn't insult anybody. I didn't curse at anybody. But I'm just stating facts. We can't continue keeping quiet. This is getting really ridiculous. These are the kind of things that make my blood boil. This is not a joke. I know there are memes and jokes and people are trying to crack jokes just to, lighten the mood and everything. But we all know that this is not a joke. Have you ever seen a thing like this before? And then they go open 100,000 capacity churches or whatever capacity church and gather people together. I saw that and I was really boiling inside and I wanted to come here and speak my mind. Christianity does not mean we should not speak our minds. Jesus himself was angry and he brought out the whip and he whipped them in the church. Because some people are going to be like, oh, you cannot be angry. You're born again, you should not be angry. There's no part of Christianity that says we should not speak up when things are wrong. There's no part of Christianity that says that. Jesus saw things were wrong and Jesus flogged them in the temple. Jesus flogged them. This is about human life. A lot of lives have been lost. Do you know how many people have died? Go and find out how many people have died in Italy. Go and find out how many people have died in Italy. Go and find out how many people have died in Italy. People have died in China. Died in many countries in the world. Rona does not care where you belong. This is serious. Like, this is really serious. Nurses and doctors are taking the risk. They're not planning to take risk for stupidity. That's the fact. This is not insult. This is statement of fact. There are no healthcare worker wants to take the risk for stupidity. So this needed to be said. It really needed to be said. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.